Good evening, parents. Guess what? You know who I am. I didn't say it. I do want to share a little something with you. My lovely shirt, it says Mrs. P's Mathmania. You probably can't see it really well. Mrs. P's Mathmania, problem solver. I'm a math teacher. Thank you to Addie Bailey and Aniston Eads. Shout out, girls, for making me a nice shirt to go with my YouTube channel, which I'm just now wearing and putting in a video. Tonight I'm going to try to do a, you guessed it, quick video about the last two things we have talked about in class. I hope you remember, and you did get the newsletter for this week, that we are reviewing Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're taking a test on Thursday. And then I'm going to give them a 4-day weekend, so everything should be good after that. So what we've been talking about the last couple of days is transforming units using distance, rate, time, and I think I left one out, distance, rate, and time formulas. And it's really not that you're transforming units, as in you're changing one into another, but you're deciding, how do I use the units that are present to get the solution? Which one of those units am I using so that I can get the right and correct solution for my problem? So great examples, and I use this all the time. If you go back and check my videos, you've seen it or you've heard it. One of my famous ones that I use all the time is, hey, I'm gonna go to Colorado. If it takes me 900 miles to get to Colorado and I drive 70 miles per hour, what else can you tell me about Mrs. P? Well, of course, you know I'm going 900 miles. You know I'm driving 70 miles per hour. The one thing you don't know about me is how long it took me to get there. And so today, I talked to the kids about these distance, rate, and time formulas. There are formulas that simply state, if you have one of the three components of distance, rate, or time, what mathematically do you have to do to solve for whatever is missing? So if I have distance, which you can see here, 900 miles is considered my distance. 70 miles per hour is considered my rate. And how do I know that? Because it's 70 miles per hour. And that means per 1 unit of an hour. That's how you can tell that you're using a rate, anything per 1. So I've got my distance and I've got my rate. The one thing I am missing is my time. Well, if I have the distance and I know how fast, the speed I am driving, how would I be able then to tell you what time it took me? Well, the kids know this is my total. And anytime you have a total, would it make sense to multiply that by 70? And that's going to tell me how long it took? Or do I want to divide that by 70 and then it would tell me how many hours it took me? So I'm doing this. I'm going 900 miles. Every 70 miles takes me 1 hour. If you visually see it, what you want to find out is how many of these 70 miles per 1 hour does it take for me to get to 900 miles? And that would explain to me how many hours I used. These are the things we're talking about, and there are formulas for them. But the big thing I told your students today is, please start listening to words. Just listen to the words. Read the words. 9.99 times out of 10, the words are going to tell you what to do. We've got kids in a habit now. Tell me the answer. And they only see math as numbers. Instead of me saying, hey, you guys are going to move those 10 chairs every day this week. How many times are you going to move those chairs? That's what we need kids to really start focusing on. The use of words that tell them what to do. Well, they're not going to add the chairs to 10. They're not going to divide the chairs by that 10. They have to know, am I going to multiply? I do it 5 days, 10 chairs. That's what I'm really, really working on with your kids when we talk about transforming units and using that with distance, rate, and time. What do the words tell me to do? They do have formulas. If I already have the total, then that means I can take the rate times the time to get the distance. If I have the rate, I need to take the distance and I need to divide it by the time. Or if I have the time, I need to divide the distance by the rate to figure that out. And I said that incorrectly, so I'll say it again. Distance. If I do not know the distance, but I have the rate and the time, I'm going to multiply those things to find my total. If I already have the total, the distance I went, and I know how long it took me, I need to know how fast or what speed I went at to get that answer. If I have the distance and I know how fast or the speed that I'm going at, and I need to figure out how long it took me. Those are division problems because I already have the totals. Remember, this is a part, the distance is your total. And those are the things we went over today. So, pardon the messy board, it's not the best little thing. If I look at this one, and I said my distance was 900 miles, and I went 70 miles per hour, how long did it take me? Well, like we did the other day in class, transforming units, I have 900 miles. I know I'm going to divide that by 70 miles in every hour. We ask, this is the transforming part, we ask, is there anything on one side of this operation that is similar that you can get rid of? Well, miles and miles are similar, so I can get rid of those. And then I ask them, what do you want your answer to be down here? And they'll tell me, we want it to be in time. We know the distance, we know the rate, we don't know the time. Well, what do you want your time to look like? You want your time in hours. So all you simply have to do then is take that 900 and divide by 7. D. Now here's the next thing. I'm really trying to work on having your kids not do all this. 6th grade and Mrs. P, I'm trying to really get them to do mental math. 70 won't go into 9. Will 70 go into 90? Sure will, one time. What is 70 from 90? 20. Got 20 left over, bring down the 0. How many times will 70 go into 200? Well, 70 times 2 is 14, or 140. 70 times 3 is 210, so that's too many. So it'll go another 2 times at least. That leaves me 60, and so on until hopefully they don't have to do all this work. Now, I'm okay if they do, and they want to make sure they're right, but we're trying to get them to start thinking about mathematics to where they're always asking, make it easier on me. How can this be easier? How can I do less work? And I tell them, there is no such thing as less work. But sometimes you can make it easier on yourself if you start looking at the mental math of what you're doing. This is what we went over today. This will be on the test for them on Thursday. Looking at distance, rate, and time. There are formulas for them. What do I have? What do I have? What do I want to get to? This is a longer answer, but I'm not going to break it all the way down for you so that hopefully you get the gist. But what do I have? What do I have? What do I want? I think the most important thing I want to put across to students and parents is your students are going to continue to have struggles if they don't read math. They have got to stop looking for, I don't see the addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division sign. What do you want me to do, Mrs. Parsons? I don't know. What does it say to do? I don't know. There's no symbol. Does there have to be a symbol for you to know what to do in math? No. You can read the words and it will tell you what you should be doing, and then you have to figure that out and solve it. That's our critical thinking skills that I've been building on all year. I'm going to keep working on it for the rest of the year. If you ever have questions, you need anything, just give me a holler. I appreciate you very much, and I hope you have a great night. Thank you.